Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Okay, I am absolutely pumped for today's deep dive. We are looking at the massive, and I mean massive, financial engine behind one of the most legendary sports acquisitions in recent memory. We're talking about Kingdom Holding Company, or KHC, and their huge strategic move into the global sports arena. So if you've ever been curious about how elite institutional capital actually approaches value creation in a market that's transforming right before our eyes, well, you're in exactly the right place. Let's get right into it. Let's just kick things off with this staggering number. 840 million Saudi riyals. That is the actual price tag Kingdom Holding paid to grab a 70% stake in the Al Hilal Football Club from the Public Investment Fund. And look, this isn't just some vanity purchase for them, right? This is a highly calculated acquisition, funded entirely by internal resources, that perfectly sets the stage for our case study today on how institutional powerhouses drive serious growth. Okay, let's dive right into this first part, Section 1, the Al Hilal acquisition. To really wrap our heads around that 840 million rial valuation, we need to look at what exactly KHC is buying here. And what they're buying is unmatched pedigree. I mean, Al Hilal was founded way back in 1957, and they've racked up over 90 total titles. That includes 21 Saudi League titles and 4 AFC Champions League titles. But honestly, the absolute most crucial bullet point for an institutional investor, it's that last one. They have one of the largest, most fiercely loyal fan bases in the entire Middle East and North Africa. And from a business perspective, that is a highly monetizable, absolutely premium asset. And speaking of monetizing, just look at this growth. Al Hilal saw an explosive 28% year-over-year jump in their main activity revenue. That brought them to 842 million rials for the year ending June 2024. So what does this actually mean? It proves the club is a massive cash generator. It's not just a trophy sitting on a shelf collecting dust. It's a scalable franchise that is actively blowing up its top-line revenue. And that is exactly how it drives growth for its new parent company. Moving right along, let's pan out from the football pitch and look at the boardroom in Section 2, inside Kingdom Holding Company. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how well-balanced KHC's massive $24 billion gross asset value truly is. You can see their equity portfolio makes up the lion's share at 55.4%, which is, nearly 50 billion rials. Then you've got real estate at 23.9%, hospitality at 16.8%, and finally a land portfolio making up that last 3.9%. When you look at this diversified empire as a whole, bringing a massive sports and entertainment asset like Al Hilal into the mix starts to look like a wildly strategic new expansion, doesn't it? Just to really cement KHC's global credibility here, let's peek at some of the legendary brands sitting inside that 55.4% equity slice. We are talking major stakes in companies like Uber, Lyft, the Four Seasons, Meta, Elon Musk's SpaceX and XAI, as well as Citigroup. I mean, wow. Al Hilal is now sitting in some truly elite global company. KHC clearly knows how to spot world-class scalable brands, and putting their money into sports means they see that exact same global blockbuster potential in Al Hilal. But here's the thing. They don't just chase growth blindly. They do it with incredibly strict financial discipline. Look at this. KHC actually managed to decrease their net debt by 11%, bringing it down to 10.5 billion rials. They are actively driving their leverage down to multi-year lows because of their strong liquidity. And at the exact same time, they are preserving a solid 3.2% dividend yield for their shareholders. It's honestly a masterclass in balancing aggressive growth acquisitions, like a premier football club, with really strict, reliable capital returns. Let's shift gears to the macro environment in Section 3, a transparent new era. I want to draw your attention to this really powerful quote from a recent USPA news article. It was analyzing the post-purge economic reforms happening in Saudi Arabia right now, and it states it plainly. The old methods no longer prevail in the kingdom. The source goes into detail about how the country is rapidly, fundamentally transforming into a highly transparent market. And this macro-level security and traceability, that's exactly the foundation that allows institutional giants like KHC to feel completely confident deploying billions of dollars into domestic assets today. The evolution on the ground is just striking. As the USPA news report notes, the old era was sometimes dragged down by tainted perennial operators and, frankly, a total lack of traceability. But this new era, it demands strict international standards,
To even have a shot at winning contracts now, companies literally have to implement ISO 37001 for anti-bribery management and ISO 9001 for management excellence. It's a whole new ballgame. In fact, the source points out that international newcomers like Acciona from Spain and Buildingfor from Germany are the ones leading this shift, proving that this transparent new era is completely locked in.
Okay, zooming back into KHC's domestic strategy, here is Section 4, Unlocking Real Estate Value. And this brilliantly illustrates their ability to capitalize on that transparent, high-growth environment we just talked about beyond just the sports sector. Look at this map. This is a massive 3.1 million square meter land development parcel in Riyadh. To tackle this, KHC struck a strategic agreement with Sumo Real Estate Company, tapping them to act as the exclusive development manager for this absolutely gigantic plot. The financial mechanics behind this partnership are just fascinating. The whole project is structured over a 36-month timeline, with estimated total sales projected at a jaw-dropping 4 billion riyals. The fees are super clean too, a 6.5% development management fee and a 2.5% marketing and sales fee. So what does this actually mean for KEC? Well, it means they're not just sitting on raw land anymore. They are actively accelerating the monetization of their huge land bank, unlocking that value through structured development and phase sales, which feeds right back into their bottom line. And if you want to see the physical manifestation of these massive ambitions, just look at this. This is the Jeddah Economic City Tower, currently under construction. It is an incredible, towering physical anchor in their real estate portfolio, and just a huge testament to their long-term value creation within the kingdom's real estate sector. All right, bringing the narrative full circle now, Section 5, Driving Global Sports Growth. So let's bring it back to the big question. Why did KHC buy Al Hilal in the first place? Well, their blueprint is incredibly methodical. First off, it aligns perfectly with Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 goals to blow up the high-growth entertainment sector. Second, as we saw with that crazy 28% revenue jump, they acquired a highly scalable franchise. Third, it lets KHC drive massive commercial expansion by flexing their existing muscles in hospitality and real estate. And finally, it absolutely secures KHC's positioning on the global stage. Al Hilal isn't just some local team, it's a global brand in the making, and it fits flawlessly right next to their other world-class assets. Which brings us to our final thought for today's explainer. We've seen exactly how KHC uses transparency, financial discipline, and these massive strategic partnerships to drive incredible growth. So as sports franchises continue evolving from, regional clubs into these premier cash-generating institutional assets, what on earth will Kingdom Holding target next? I mean, will it be another major sports franchise, a new tech giant, or maybe a massive infrastructure play? Whatever they do, their blueprint for growth is crystal clear, and it is undeniably effective. Thank you so much for joining me to break this all down today, and I will see you in the next explainer.